the biggest Biashara show in the 254. Now this morning you are joined by ANYANGO SYLVIA, and today I am all alone, but we'll be later joined by the one and only Ojwang Mariam on the newspaper review, and we'll have other guests in studio. But first, let's just take a look at what has been happening since the last time we saw each other. That was last week on Tuesday. Now, throughout the week, so much has been happening, and the latest in the world of business is our Treasury CS John Mbadi promising that there will be no more taxation on Kenya's payslip, like there will be no more VAT addition on our payslip, which is a good thing. But then, if we look at our dailies, on the stories that we're going to be looking at, that is on, we begin with the People Daily. Pending bills, suppliers owed up to 10 million Kenyan shillings to get, that is Business Daily, rather not People Daily. Suppliers owed up to 10 million Kenyan shillings to get priority in payment plan. This was said yesterday by our Treasury CS John Mbadi during an engagement at the Bunge la Mwananchi at Jivanji Gardens. He said that those people who are owed by the government, that is 95% of the people owed by the government under the pending bills, will be given priority. Those that what is owed to them is less than 10 million shillings, and the remaining they will be budgeted for in the next budgeting process, which is a good thing to hear. But we are hoping these are not just stories, because often we just hear stories. And also, still on the Bunge la Mwananchi conversation, our CS promised of no more VAT added. I just mentioned that, and a lot. There is which paper is that? That is on Daily Nation. They have a headline where Mbadi, fierce critic turned defender of Ruto economics. Before he was appointed or made CS of the Treasury, he was a serious critic of this administration economic policies, saying they are invalid and they are vague. But as we speak right now, he is the one championing for these administration policies in terms in as far as economics are concerned. Now that is on our economy, the state of our economy. We'll be having so much on that, because if we look at Business Daily, we have investigators suspect sabotage in KRA tax system outage, healthcare cost up to 3.3% on rising prices. We have how Moldovana farms leaked Ruto's Kenyatta's dealings. This is quite an interesting story. It's the main headline on the Business Daily, where information on key of our political leaders or the famous people in the country's dealings have been leaked to the public, and they say the information is free to the public, but now as they are leaked, there comes a problem of whether it is of the public or not. We'll be looking at that later on in the broadcast. And just to mention, those people will be joining me this morning. I mentioned Ojwang Mariam, and we'll also be joined by Murithi Alex, founder and chairperson, Kadi Gatundu North. Those will be a panelists today on the newspaper review. And also, another big story making headline on the Daily Nation is how Al-Shabaab abducted 5 chiefs in Mandera. And this is happening a day before President William Ruto begins his tour to the northeastern region. Ruto will be beginning his tour to the northeastern region today, and just before that happens, 5 chiefs are allegedly abducted by Al-Shabaab. We are yet to see the reasons, the motives behind that. We'll be having that discussion also later on during the newspaper review to understand why just before the president's visit. And also just to mention, there'll be a cabinet meeting in Mandera, which will be the first of its kind to ever happen in the northeastern region. Now moving on, still on the dailies, the Daily Nation, inside Ruto's policy turns. Recently we have seen a number of shifts. When Ruto's administration came in, there was a number of changes that were being made. We look at the funding model, that is of HELB, the SHA, e-Citizen, and we are seeing changes being made, falling back to the previous way of payment or way of administering these services to Kenyans. For example, HELB now has resorted to state results to help to release upkeep cash to students to avert crisis after new funding model was blocked by courts. And also on health, hospitals had to revert to the defunct NHIF system and even go manual to process claims until a new system provider was brought on board. And on e-citizen, officials have struggled to enforce the single payment platform for government services because of delays to verify payments. Now that is just among the few returns to the old system that we are having, and this is after Kenyans who are really complaining, not just in social media but everywhere, of unfunctioning government projects or government new initiatives that were brought in place. And I don't know if these changes are happening because our leaders were back at home and they get to interact with people and get the first-hand information of what is really happening on the ground rather. I don't know if that is the case, but we'll be having that discussion also. And probe reveals big mess at Afya House. That is also a top story on the dailies. And on abductions, that's also making headlines on the Standard. Chiefs abducted. It's a big story which we won't miss this morning. And also boundaries vows to get worse after EG plea. The Attorney General has told Supreme Court judges that there is no time to review boundaries, meaning the 2027 poll will be conducted with outdated units. And this is quite controversial because our members of parliament, our legislatures, are silent on this matter, so we don't know if they're going to react because they are coming back to session after 2 months. They're resuming session today after 2 months of recess, after 2 months of a break. Now this is a day when they'll be back to the chambers. We're expecting them to talk about these issues because the public is quite silent about it. Our main aim was to get the commissioners, which we are yet to get them, but we'll get there. And it has created really political temperatures rising in the country. You know, when it comes to election, this is a country where I will not say elections are rigged, but we are used to such claims where the losing parties are always going to court. So if we are seeing IEBC not being formulated on time, it is quite a question mark. And we hope the MPs are going to react as they get back to the House. Now also, we will be having a conversation today on the future, that is the future of work and business opportunities. This is an area where everyone talks about because you have these neighbors close to you. When you wanamka asubuhi, you see a rider coming in, groceries, the refilled water, they get in the house, they lock themselves, and then ikifika majioni unawaona na short, wanatoka nje, they are strolling, wanaosha gari, and you're wondering, what are these people doing? And when you ask them, they tell you, the God. So this is a day when we are going to understand who is this God. We are going to be having a conversation on the online workforce or the online jobs. And in studio we'll be joined by Jeremy Otieno, Chairperson, Ajira Digital Club, Kenyatta University, and Frida Thuo, Communication Director, Ajira Digital KU. These are on the launch today. Those are the people we'll be having in studio. And just to give you a quick brief, why Ajira? Ajira Digital, under the Ministry of IT and the Digital Economy, is empowering young Kenyans to access digital jobs. That's why we are having them this morning. So they're also partners with the government, so you can also send those questions so that we'll address them. They are majorly dealing with campus students and helping them navigate the world of online jobs, and you'll get to understand more about online jobs. You know, most of the time when we talk about online jobs, we think of what do we call it? Writing. That's what comes to our mind. But there is a lot into online jobs, and we'll be having that conversation this morning. There is quite a lot: freelancing, virtual assistant, digital marketing, blockchain development, and content creation. This Ajira Digital is offering training to majorly university students and the youths generally. So they will be telling us about this training. What qualifications must you have to qualify for that? What do you need? What it takes for you to have a digital job, because that is the future of our economy, they say. And we'll also be having a conversation on the upcoming Web3. You know, we are shifting from Web 2 to Web 3. It's quite confusing, because when you look at Web 1, that was where we used to consume information. Talking of information, is just posted online. You go, look at it, and you don't have an opportunity to react or to interact with it fully. And then there is Web 2, where we were having, Web 2 is the current one, where we're having Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, where you can create your content. You determine what is created, what you put outside there. That is the Web 2, where you interact with your audience and all that. You control what you post or what you see. But now the problem with Web 2 is that there are big tech companies that control your data and monetize it. And now the world is shifting to Web 3, where as a content creator, you'll be able to own your data, you'll be able to control everything. There will be, when we talk about Web 3, most people think of cryptocurrencies. It is part of it, but also there is a situation where you own your work. If you're a content creator, for example, you have a piece of art, you can own it, you can have copyrights of it, and you can control how you sell it, how you buy it, without having intermediaries like bank. You be paid by crypto or something like that. So that is the future of where the business is going, and that is Web 3. There's quite happening around Web 3, so in a nutshell, we'll be having that also on the launch this morning. So it's quite a packed day, which you can't afford to miss for the next 2 hours and 6 minutes or so. That is the conversation we'll be having this morning. Now, before we get into details of everything, let's shift and take a look at the traffic and weather. Now on to our roads this morning, as we are getting to work, wale watu wa 9 to 5. It is your time to get informed on what is happening. And hey, if you're coming from Thika Road, there is quite a jam on Thika Road. That is from TRM, past TRM. There is quite a jam. Hadi ufike all stops, they still jam kwenda mbele hadi Muthaiga. So you're going to be staying there for quite a long time, but don't worry, because we're here to entertain you and inform you as you wait for your time to get to the city. And also for the people coming from this is around Kenya Railway Museum, around those sides, entering town, it's quite a traffic on that side. Also Nairobi Expressway, it's moving, but around this is around Maguga Green, it's quite packed over there. So as you're going to the CBD, most roads going to the CBD are having traffic. Not to forget our people from Langata, those people who are using Langata Road. There's also a jam there around Uhuru Gardens. So brace up, because it's going to be, though not that heavy as of Thika Road. Thika Road, watu wa Thika Road leo ndo sikieni, because it's worse on your side, but on other roads it's moving. It's not so bad. It's still 7:56. But by the time it's around 8:30, I'm sure things will be all right. Now moving on to our weather updates this morning, and we begin with Nairobi. From where I sit, it's not that hot and not that cold. Let me get this straight. Weather in Nairobi, it's now 17 degrees Celsius, feeling like it feels like 17 actually. And on precipitation, there is no sign of precipitation this morning. it is mostly sunny throughout the day, and the highs are of 24 degrees Celsius. Now, if we go to Mombasa, it is 27 degrees Celsius, and it feels like 29 degrees Celsius. No sign of precipitation also, and they will be receiving highs of 32 degrees Celsius. Today, let me give an update of people from my home. I also happen to come from Kitale. Kitale, this morning it is 16 degrees Celsius. It feels like 16 degrees Celsius, and it will be mostly sunny throughout the day, and they'll be receiving highs of 26 degrees Celsius. And also on precipitation, there is no possibility of precipitation during the day. And also let's take a look at where our president will be at today. That is in Garissa. Let's see if the weather will be favoring them. Today. It is 25 degrees Celsius, and they'll be receiving highs of 34 degrees Celsius. So I'm wondering, you know when a presidential motorcade is moving, there are always these people with suits. So I'm wondering if today they'll also be in suit with the highs of 34 degrees Celsius. But we don't know what will happen. Also the president, I don't know if he'll be having the suits also. Maybe he'll be having kanzu today. So let's see what will happen. There is no sign of precipitation today in Garissa. So those are just a few towns that we are having the weather update today. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back with the news updates. Before we take a break, let me just rerun on the guest list that we are having this morning. On the newspaper review, we'll be joined by Ojwang Mariam and Murithi Alex, the founder and chairperson, Kadi Getundu North. We'll be having a conversation on those stories that I've lined up, or that I've mentioned this morning, on the Standard Chiefs of Abducted, on the Business Daily, how modern Moldovana farm leaked Ruto's Kenyatta's dealings, and the Daily Nation, inside Ruto's policy, U-turns, and many more stories. And also, we'll be having a conversation on the future of work and business opportunities, where we will be joined by Jeremy Otieno, chairperson, Ajira Digital Club in Kenyatta University. There are many chapters in various universities in the country, but today we'll be specifically having the Kenyatta University chapter, and also Frida Thuo, communication director at Ajira Digital, that is still on Kenyatta University chapter. Now, let's take a short break, and we will be back with more.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Access to knowledge, solutions repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Naam, ungana nami ua lako linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Katika toleo hili la Nairobi basi tarajia mambo makubwa sana. Kutakuwa na vyakula vya kipwani kama vile shawarma. Watu hawajui shawarma nini? Kuna biriani, kuna vyakula ambavyo vimepikwa na vikasukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalamu waliobobea kwa mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya Uswahili basi, mambo ya mashairi.
Jamani swaibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Kosi kupata tarabu, chakacha, midundiko. Yani hapo ni pale ambapo viuno vinazungushwa kisawasawa na kubiringishwa ni kana kwamba havina mfupa kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV, ukiwa nami waridi tamu. Usikose matamu.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Naam, ungana nami ua lako linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Katika toleo hili la Nairobi basi tarajia mambo makubwa sana. Kutakuwa na vyakula vya kipwani kama vile shawarma. Watu hawajui shawarma nini? Kuna biriani, kuna vyakula ambavyo vimepikwa na vikasukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalamu waliobobea kwa mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya Uswahili basi, mambo ya mashairi.
Jamani swaibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Kosi kupata tarabu, chakacha, midundiko. Yani hapo ni pale ambapo viuno vinazungushwa kisawasawa na kubiringishwa ni kana kwamba havina mfupa kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV, ukiwa nami Waridi Tamu. Usikose matamu.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
So my name is I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Canadian University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu ibarikiwe na Mungu iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tuna kutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Hutasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
Naam, ungana nami ua lako linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Katika toleo hili la Nairobi basi tarajia mambo makubwa sana. Kutakuwa na vyakula vya kipwani kama vile shawarma. Watu hawajui shawarma nini? Kuna biriani, kuna vyakula ambavyo vimepikwa na vikasukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalamu waliobobea kwa mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya uswahili basi, mambo ya mashairi.
Jamani swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Ukosi kupata tarabu, chakacha, midundiko. Yani hapo ni pale ambapo viuno vinazungushwa kisawasawa na kubiringishwa ni kana kwamba havina mfupa kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV, ukiwa nami Waridi Tamu. Usikose matamu.
Na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ngari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake. Nami Caroline Kimweli.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
They find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated
Inclusive setups.
by providing the right facilities.
Welcome back. Now this is on the launch with our guests are already in studio, and we are having a discussion on the future of work and the digital workforce, where we are joined with Jeremy Otieno, who is the chairperson of Ajira Digital Club, and also Frida Thuo, who is the communications director at Ajira Digital Club KU. First, before we begin, just introduce yourself. Okay, I've introduced you, but just say what you do at Ajira before we get into our real conversation.
Thank you. My name is Jeremy Otieno. I am the chairperson of Ajira Club, that is the Kenyatta University chapter right now. Yeah, I'm a student of Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. Yeah.
Okay, Frida.
My name is Frida Macbeth Thuo. I am a third-year student at Kenyatta University doing Bachelor's in Library Information Science, and I am the communication director of Ajira KU Club.
Fantastic. So just to set this ball rolling, most of the time when someone talks about online work, especially to campus students, what comes to their mind is writing. So in your own words, let me begin with you, Jeremy. In your own words, what is online work?
Online
Your
work.
mic is not on. Okay.
Online work, it's not just about writing. Online work actually means that you're somewhere, you don't have to go to a set specific place to do your work. And it is not just writing. We have other things like data entry, we have commerce, we have, actually it's e-commerce. Yeah, and then we also have special sets like cybersecurity. So it's not just writing. Yeah.
Frida.
Yes.
In your own perspective, what is online work?
Online work is basically having the ability to work from anywhere, so remotely. We have so many opportunities. It's not just about content writing, because most people know, and it's not for when you mention online work to campus students, they will mostly think about academic writing, and it's actually not what we focus on mostly. We do copywriting, which is marketing by means of writing, and then we have things like digital marketing. We still have data entry, we have web design and data analytics too. So we have a huge scope of things to do in the online market.
So you mentioned that you have quite a lot that you do when it comes to online training. Ajira Digital does online training. That's what I understand.
Yes.
So how exactly do you execute this training? How exactly is it? In what mode? Is it a virtual? Are the students coming for virtual classes or physical classes, Frida?
We are actually a blended module. We do have the physical and the virtual training, because mostly you'll find students have classes and you wouldn't want to interrupt their classes. So mostly we will have like 3 physical trainings, and then during the week we have those virtual trainings to like recap on what we've learned. And during the physical trainings we do have external trainers from Ajira Digital coming into KU to teach us, so that we do not have to go access hubs elsewhere. So we have external trainers coming to train us at KU for the physical trainings.
Perfect. Now, about the training that is done, most of the time, the trainings, when someone thinks about a training that is done, someone thinks about how much am I going to pay for this training? So Jeremy, at Ajira, yes, I understand there are trainers, the external trainers coming in to train. Are there payments that students pay or is it just free?
Actually, what we do is free. The training itself is free. Though in KU we have as the club, you need a membership fee to join the club, and then there's a semester subscription. Like you only subscribe per semester. But then the training is free. Yeah, you just come, you're trained, you're mentored. Then after the mentorship, after you've gained the skills, you're offered a certificate where you can prove that yes, you did this training and you're qualified to do the work. So it's basically free.
So free to the general public from where you sit.
Yeah.
Is it only done for campus students, or can it be done also to people who are not in campus?
It is not only done for campus students, as long as you are 18 years and above. Yeah, because they'll need like your details to give you the certification. So it's not done for only campus students. As long as you're above 18 years old, you can just log into the Ajira digital platform, then register your details, apply for classes that you'll be taught for free.
Yeah. Now that we know about what Ajira does and the training, let's now get deeper into what this online work is. With examples, would you please help us, Jeremy, help us understand a few of the trainings that you do, a few of the skills that when learners come, they get, a few of the workplaces that they intend to get to?
Okay, what we do, we talk to students, we find out your interest. As Frida said, the only thing that we don't encourage is academic writing. Because academic writing, basically, you do someone's assignment for them. So we do not encourage that, because we encourage like people be honest. So one of the things that we can train is graphic design. Basically, if you come to the club for training, the students are asked, what do you see has prospective in the market right now? And then the trainer will train you on that. You'll be asked as a student, what do you think is gaining money right now online? Yeah, and then you'll be trained on that.
But do you have like an example, like for example on digital marketing, how that is done?
On graphic design, yeah, one of the examples is graphic design. So if you're interested in graphic design, we have a WhatsApp group for the club where information is sent. Information is sent when the trainer is ready, or we have a particular trainer who is equipped to train the graphic design. So trainings are done virtually or physically, as Frida had said. So you only have to come, then listen to the trainer. After that, you are given skills. After the training, we have projects where you practice the skills you learn from your trainer.
So on your part, you do graphic design.
Yeah.
Frida, what do you do?
Virtual assistant and copywriting.
Tell us more about it.
Okay, so for the virtual assistant, you are basically, can you just call it a secretary? But virtually. So you assist people in doing their tasks, so pulling things like arranging their meetings, taking their notes down, taking their online meetings. But then, so I will just say it's just like a digital secretary where I do your minute stuff for you so that you can be able to go on with bigger projects. So that is basically virtual assistants. And then for copywriting is where you write copies for people. Those could be for digital marketing, they could be for projects, they also could be for something like proposals. So, but basically copywriting is majorly in digital marketing, where you do your content creation, but in the word form. So as wordy as I am, so you can at least get it. And for the trainings, mostly we normally ask for, can we say, polls, where students are able to choose what they would prefer. But right now we feel like digital marketing is where most people are lying or are feeling comfortable in, because every company, regardless of what it's doing, basically needs a digital marketer. Most companies are, let's not say most companies, all companies will eventually move online. So they do need someone to do their marketing online to be able to sell to the online market. And digital marketing is where, let's say, the money lies. Yes.
So how exactly do you get these clients?
We have sites. But let me just mention something about our partner, KEPSA, so the Kenya Private Sector Alliance. They normally give us linkages to jobs. We as Ajira do not provide the jobs, but we give links to work. So you'll find that if a company, so in the private sector, if a company really requires people to do these jobs, people who have been trained by Ajira will be prioritized as people to work on the project, because they do believe in what Ajira does. So this is how you will get the linkages. We do not give the jobs, so you will just apply and get the job. So we have also sites like Upwork, we have Freelancer, we do have mentors and people who've been in the industry for long. So when you get the guidance from them, you're able to maneuver through the system. So it won't be like starting from scratch, the way you will just go out there and decide, okay, I want to do online work, and then you start looking for sites, how to maneuver, how to work through it. So with guidance from people who've been there, it's a lot easier. So that's why we say being in an Ajira club or in Ajira Digital, you are able to get your way through in an easier way.
No, talking of, it's like you're saying it is Ajira. In your own perspective, Jeremy, why Ajira?
Why Ajira? Because, as you said, it is from the Ministry of ICT Kenya. It's legitimacy. It is legit. And then we do not charge. We are looking at the youths, and the youths have been complaining, no jobs. So we don't want to charge people for anything. So just come. Why Ajira is because it's free and it's legit. Yeah.
So in terms of support from the ministry, both of you have mentioned that Ajira is backed by the Ministry of ICT and also the partners like KEPSA. So in terms of support, how big is the support? How big does students in Ajira get support from the ministry? Jeremy?
We get support from the ministry. Frida did not mention e-mobilities. Yeah, a major partner of e-mobilities. That is when you have the training itself and then you've been identified that you've really done this job. These partners come in, then they consider you because they know that you've done the training with Ajira and they know it's legitimate. So when the opportunities come, they look for you.
So in the current world of online work and everything going digital, there is an upcoming wave of Web3. I don't know if you've heard about it, where if you're having your content, you have rights over your data, you have rights of who can access it, who you can sell it to. So at Ajira, is there a popularity on how the learners are trained on data privacy and everything, cybersecurity and all that?
When you come to mention that, we have cybersecurity and training. So you say data privacy and privacy, how you are managed. We offer cybersecurity also as a training. You'll be trained on cybersecurity, then you'll be mentored. So that will be covered during the training. You'll know how to handle your personal stuff and what you give out and what you're supposed to do.
In your perspective, Abigail, what do you think is the future of our digital workforce? Like, everyone is shifting. You've mentioned that in digital marketing, that's where the money lies. So what do you think is the future of online work?
So the future, I cannot fail to mention AI. We have this aspect of AI, and people feel like AI is gonna take away all the digital jobs that they can be done by AI. But as Ajira, we've been training on AI, especially with graphic design. So there's the point of AI in graphic design. Let's just start with that. But we do not feel like AI is going to take away jobs. We feel like AI is going to be a help to actualizing things. So it makes your work easier. But if you're able to maneuver through AI, it's just going to make everything work together. Let's just say that. But to your question, the future of online work, I feel like it's just going to be... what is the word I'm looking for? It's just gonna own the world. It's gonna run the world. Because moving most things are gonna be digitalized or digitized. I don't know which is the right word to use in this case, but either of them, it's gonna be digitalized. Yeah, so it's gonna be digitalized, and there is no way you're gonna expect to be living in a world that's all digital and do not have a skill at least to maneuver through. So let's take something like back then when everything was manual, something like our online registration, our passport registrations, we've all moved online. So imagine what's the workforce that's needed to be able to actualize the provision of all this processes. So like, let's say 1,000 passports are applied per day. Can you imagine the workforce that was needed back then? But right now we just need a couple of people to just do their thing online and be able to make that sustainable, right? Mm-hmm. Things like marketing. Marketing was basically known for word to word or face to face marketing. But when I'm able to communicate to you online and you're able to get what I'm selling or what I'm giving to you, it's making my life much easier. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot of time in our hands. That's one. And I feel like we're gonna have a lot of productivity, because it's making your work easier, so you're not tired, you're able to do other things, and you're able to work from anywhere basically. So I don't have to come to an office 9 to 5 to do my thing. I can just do it from my place and be productive. So I feel like it's just something everyone needs, a skill, at least as much as kuna those people of who are traditional, let me just use the word, people who are traditional, who believe in, if I am not physically there, I cannot do it, but at least have a digital skill that's backing you up. If you're a content, traditional, let's say if you're something like a lawyer, have something copywriting to be able to frame your words in a way that the digital world is able to understand, or the landscape is able to perceive it. Because the same way, the way that you're writing your pieces on a piece of paper is not the same way that it's going to be received on an online platform. So at least have that one skill that you can at least manage.
Now, building up on what Frida is saying, Jeremy, there's been quite a discussion about the Gen Z at workplace. We all believe in the future of our workforce is online. So the situation where the 9 to 5 work, where someone has to go to the office, do their work. So most CEOs pay these people big amounts than the ones they pay Gen Z. Like a CEO can say, how can I pay someone who struggles to come to work 1 million? Alafu atakuja 5 ikifika immediately anafunga laptop anaenda nyumbani. So about that, most of our employers are the millennials and those generations kurudi nyuma, and they don't believe that everything is just on the screen. So having that as a barrier, what do you think is the future of digital work?
Yeah, the future of digital work, I see it as it's going to increase the time of work, because we'll now be removing transport, the amount of time we'll spend to go to work. We'll be removing the time we'll spend on exams. Actually, it's going to relieve us of stress. Because you'll do this from anywhere and you'll be comfortable. You don't have to go somewhere to do this. So you have more time, you can just wake up, have breakfast, and then open your laptop and start working. So I see this as the future. I see companies will take this seriously. Once it's known, once they have the skills, and that is what Nigeria is about. We want to give the skills. Once you have these skills, that is the future. We do not have to commute. Yeah.
Now, both of you are really good, exciting stories about the future of work with the incoming digital systems and with the incorporation of AI. But don't you think this is a threat to normal working, like businesses, someone going directly anaenda kwa market anauza, someone going to a farm anaongea na client directly, that human aspect? Do you think this is a threat to that? Let me begin with you, Frida.
I honestly do not. Maybe it's a threat, yes, but we evolve. We normally evolve. I will use the example of, do you remember when they banned plastic bags? everyone thought it was a threat to businesses, right? But we evolved. There was a lot of businesses created from that opportunity. So I feel it's seeing an opportunity where there is one. Where there is a will, there is a way. So if you view this digital movement as a threat, it's definitely going to be a threat. But if you perceive it as an opportunity, then definitely opportunity is going to come to you, because there's a wide range of opportunities in the digital world. So I don't really see it as a threat in any way.
Do you see it as a threat?
No, actually, I do not see it as a threat. We are humans. Humans are known to evolve. We are going to evolve past this notion that digitally enabled jobs are going to replace humans. No, it's not. Actually, it's going to increase job opportunities. Take this as an example. We are going to use laptops to do this online work remotely. We're still going to need people to do repairs. The companies that are making laptops are going to need more of this. So we are going to increase the demand. We are going to increase. When you talk about other online stuff like deliveries, that you just sit at home, do a delivery on your phone, and then there's a delivery person that will come. You see, we have created a job for this person that is going to deliver this for you. We are also going to increase ways of making money for the service providers, because we are going to use internet for this. So actually, I don't see it as a loss, but as an added opportunity.
I'm sure there are success stories. You've told me before we got online that KU is just starting up. The Ajira Club is just starting up in KU. So how do I believe that it's going to work? Do you have success stories of other stations in other universities? Do you have success stories of people who can really say that I did this and this is what I'm doing, this is what I've made, this is my strides? Do you have that? I'll begin with you, Jeremy.
Talking about that, you want to know success stories, right?
Today in KU at BSSC, we are going to have a meeting where we are going to have a guest, a Kenyatta University student. Yeah, so talking about success story, we are going to have it today. Today we are going to have the meeting where we are going to brief members on this club. We are going to hear their perspective of this, and we are going to clear out any air that is in between them. So about the success story, we are going to have it today at BSSC. We are going to have it at room 12. Yeah, so any student who is watching right now, come to BSSC, we have refreshments in plenty. So just come, you'll get to know what you want to know.
What of a student who is not in Kenyatta University na ana doubt sana zenye unasema sasa anasema hizi ni stories ajabu?
For a student who is not in KU, you can log into the Ajira digital platform. Yeah, there you'll get stories, you'll get to know more about Ajira. It's all there in the website platform.
And you, Frida?
We do have success stories, lots of them. They will be too many to mention, but you asked about other institutions that you know of. We're looking up to JKUAT. JKUAT has been doing an amazing job with their Ajira Club. So if we would grow and get to the point that they're at, we would really love it, because we have seen what they have done, and that's why KU is the #1 institution right now. Yeah, so we're like, how can we be the #1 institution and not have an Ajira Club, not have a digitally empowered community? So we felt like we really need this as KU. We really need to up our game. We really need our comrades to have the money in their pockets. So at least have the skills and be able to earn the money. So for success stories, like Jeremy said, we have them on the Ajira digital platform. It's Ajira Digital at .go.ke. You can find success stories, not all of them, but at least a couple to convince you, right? And you can also check out we have our page, our Instagram page and TikTok page. Still green, but we're doing it. We really want to do this, and we really want KU to grow digitally, to be able to earn, to be able to have a huge community that believes in online work.
Okay, let's say I'm convinced that Ajira Digital is the way to go. What do I need for me to begin being part of Ajira? What skills do I need? What what do I need to begin or to join the club, apart from the registration, of course?
We need you. That's basically it. We need you to have a heart of gold. We need you to have the motivation, and we need you to be able to send yourself directly. Let me just say, we just need you to be there, to be available, to be able to push yourself, to have that motivation, to have that thrill, to be amped, to just be able to do this, because digital work is not for the weak. Let me just say that. It's not for the lazy. People think that, you remember that saying that, walisema, utafinya finya button dollars itoke. It's not as easy as that. It needs you to be there, body, soul, your mind. So if you're not there, we basically cannot help you. So what we need is you to be there, you to be motivated, you to push yourself. We cannot push you. And there have been stories about Nigeria not being legit, but the fact is that you were given the fishing net, but you were not able to go fish for yourself. We do not give you the fish. We ask you to go fish.
So you teach a man how to fish, not giving a man a fish.
Exactly, that's the point. So if you're not able to push yourself, then you'll always be sitting there and wondering, how comes people are moving on and I'm still stuck here, wondering how this is happening. So we'll give you the skills, go practice on them, and we also encourage, as a beginner, do a lot of pro bonos. Give free jobs. It will be able to market you, that's one. For two, it will give you experience. You will make the mistakes as a beginner, but as you progress, you'll be able to know, this is what happens, this is what goes wrong, this is how I can correct it. So you're able to gain the experience, you're able to gain the skills, and you're able to push yourself further. We say that with experience comes perfection. So as the more you get the experience, the more you're able to perfect on your skills, and the more you get jobs. Because let's say you give a free service to someone. Let's not call it a free service. Let's just call it an internship. You interned with a company, and you gave them a good job. They corrected you, and you corrected your mistakes. The next time they're going to call you for a job that's going to be well-paying, or at least connect you to another company that is going to pay you well. And also, as Nigeria Club, we are so huge on networking. Your network is your net worth. That is what we say. So network. Build your connections, because these are the connections that are gonna pay you. In the digital world, you can literally not make it alone. As much as tunasema you stay in your house and you make the money,
but you still have connections.
Yes, you need the connections.
So Jeremy, Frida is mentioning that you just need to bring yourself. Don't I need these other skills like how to manage a computer, the basic computer skills? Are they taught, or naeza kuja tu venye niko green from home, I come naenda ajira and everything is going to be trained from there?
We cannot start from nowhere. You only, just as you said, you need basic computer skills and an internet connection. The training is digital. The trainer will come, they're fully prepared, knowing that I'm going to start teaching someone who just has basic computer skills. So you will be introduced ABCD. You just come there with your laptop, maybe your computer, and there's internet connection, obviously. Yeah, so you will be taught just from the basic skills that you have.
So as we conclude, how long have you trained with Ajira?
Ajira Club has been in KU since last year, that is last semester. Mentorships and trainings have been going on. We have a few students who have been being trained, but right now we want to make the population larger. Yeah, we want to make KU students know there's an Ajira Club. You don't have to rely on help. You don't have to rely on your parent or guardian for upkeep money. Just come, we teach you how to get your own money. As she has said, we will not give you the fish, but we show you the direction of the ocean and how to get the fish. Yeah.
So for the few months that you have been with Ajira, working with Ajira or training with Ajira, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced in your journey?
The biggest challenge, it's not really big, but I would say just managing your work, managing schoolwork, and maybe the time for training. But then when you sit down and just plan yourself well,
we have the WhatsApp group whereby we look at when students are free. So just speak out, say I'm free at this time. My challenge has been just managing schoolwork and the training, in which we have made it two-way. There's the physical training and then there's the virtual training. So if you miss the physical training, you'll catch up in the virtual training. So no major challenge right now. I'd say it's smooth.
Apart from balancing schoolwork and training.
Yeah.
So Frida, how long have you been with Ajira?
Same case from last semester.
And what is your biggest challenge?
I will concur with him. Being able to manage schoolwork and the trainings and being physically a part of it. When we were starting out, it was so much a challenge because we did not have a schedule, because we were just starting out trying to figure things out. We did not have a schedule. So it was, they'll just say there's a training on this particular day, and you find that you had not planned for it, so it's out of your scope. But now we have really tried to cater for that, in that we have consistent trainings. Like for today, we have our induction, which is at BSSC 12, like he said, at 11 to 1. So for those 2 or 3 hours that you're going to be there, we will be able to train and be able to hear from students what particular time they would want us to put the trainings at. And then we've introduced the blended module where we can have the trainings virtually. So if you're not able to attend physically, you'll have the virtual training. I feel like at least we've tried to balance. Yes, to balance that and help students balance that. And then the fact that now we have the mentorship. It was so hard at the beginning, because also the way you asked, how will I know this is true? How will I maneuver through? So that was the question that was always ringing. But right now that we have mentors, that we have people to look up to, that we are able to see what they've done and how they've done it, it's just helpful. So I feel like someone joining Ajira right now will just get the best of the packs that we have.
Okay. Last week we had a guest here who was talking about personal branding, and he said the shortcut to career success is having mentors, and I believe that is it for you guys. Now, as we conclude, what is your biggest achievement so far? You'll tell us your biggest. I'll begin with you, Frida. Tell us your biggest achievement so far, working with Ajira or trading with Ajira, and what should advise someone who wants to venture into online business?
Okay. My biggest achievement so far, I will start with my confidence has grown. It has made me discover myself, be able to develop my leadership skills, because we also have the training for the soft skills, and I've been able to network. My life in KU was so boring, because it used to be class and then out of school. If you do not find me in class, I'll be at home sleeping, or I'll be doing something else out there. But it has enabled me to network as a student in KU. So right now, if I need something from somewhere, at least I know someone, I can make a call. That's the biggest thing that has happened since I joined the Ajira KU club. For Ajira, I've been able to learn on the virtual assistant jobs. I've been able to learn on jobs for the copywriting. I've been able to write. As much as I've been a writer for long, I've been able to harness it to become the marketing type of writing. So I have gained skills, I have gained knowledge, I have been able to network, and that has just been my biggest.
Jeremy, on your part, what is your biggest achievement? And how would you advise someone, she forgot that, how would you advise someone who wants to venture into online business?
Okay, benefits, knowledge, networking. Through Ajira Club and Ajira Digital, we've had the knowledge, and now we know there is something online. We know that there is legitimacy in online work, and I know about this because right now I'm venturing in cybersecurity, and it's going on well. I've actually managed to create a profile on Fiverr. Yeah, so my biggest achievement right now is networking and the knowledge, because now I know that there's something true, it's something true, and I can really gain something from it. So my biggest achievement right now is the knowledge and the networking skills, and the cybersecurity skills that I'm gaining from the training right now.
Any advice to someone who wants to venture into online business?
Any advice to, I want to advise those who are still out there thinking that this thing is not true. We're still here waiting for you. When you'll see, when you hear our success stories, when you'll see, that is Jeremy, and I thought it wasn't true. Yeah, we're waiting for you. Out there waiting for you. I know some people still out there right now after this, they're still saying this is not true. We'll be here waiting for you. You'll come and join us when you see the time is right for you.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for making time for us this morning. And Frida, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Now to our viewers at home, the future, our guest in studio telling us that the future is the digital economy, where people are shifting from normal marketing to digital marketing and everything that entails online work. Now, back at home, I know you may be thinking that I want to begin an online work and I don't have the skills. Ajira, is it Ajira Digital? It's in the whole country, and they've said that you can have access to it whether you're in campus, whether you're not in campus, you can have access to the training. So make an effort to do that as we struggle to vent for ourselves as youths. Now, coming up after this break is the newspaper review with Ojwang Mariam, who will be joining us this morning. And also in studio we'll be having Murithi Alex joining us for the newspaper review. So stay tuned as we wait for that discussion.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta
yanayokukumba. Tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Ukweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline Kimoi. Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta
yanayokukumba. Tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Ukweli ni spesheli tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake mwake. Hutasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline Kimwele.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mokwa James.
Welcome back. Now on to the highly awaited discussion this morning, the newspaper review. The guests are already in studio, and it is quite exciting because we are just talking with Murithi here. Alex is telling me about Gadi. He's the CEO and founder of Gadi, a youth-led initiative that is giving back to the community, which is quite interesting. Seeing a young person venture into politics, getting into leadership spaces is very interesting. Now, before I get into so many conversations, because I talk a lot, let me just introduce the guests who are in studio with us tonight so that we can get straight into the discussion. Oh my God, this morning, apologies. We'll begin with you, Murithi.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. Yeah, so let me first start by saying thanks to Almighty God. You know, in our country right now, you see, if you leave your house and you get to where you are going, you just don't take it for granted. So for me, I think every time I leave my house, either I'm going to work, like today I was coming here to this interview, I do say thank you to God for protecting me and guiding me. Yeah, I don't take it for granted because
Thank you so much.
we have a lot that is taking and occurring in our country. Also, at the same time, I thank you for hosting me today here. We do take this conversation. You know, in our country right now, we need to talk because a lot of things need to be addressed. And I think it is by talking that we can get. So just as you have said, let me make it clear that my name is Murithi Alex. You add there before the CIM. That stands for Certified Industrial Mathematician. Yeah, I am a recent graduate from JKUAT, and currently I'm practicing my profession at Infinity Industrial Park. Yes, the largest private industrial park, not just in Kenya, but in Eastern and Central Africa. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to having a good discussion so that we can see where we will place our country.
We'll definitely have a good discussion.
Yeah, sure.
No doubt about that.
Thank you.
Tio, Joan, I've missed you. How have you been?
I've been well. I see hope.
Good to see you.
I see positivity. I see great minds ready to take up and shape up and fix this station. I see young graduates hunger and eager to lead our people into the right direction. A direction that maybe we lost just because we were told since we were young that mzee akiwa ameketi anaona mbali kuliko ile jina inapeago yule mwenye lazima apande juu ya mti ndio aone maybe the same or closer distance. Times are changing. You are from a conversation with Ajira Digital. These spaces they are taking up the youths were not there before, or if they were there before, not in our Africa's civilization. So we are at a point yenye lazima wazee na vijana waketi wajadiliane. Sio wazee waketi wa dictate kwendeni huku, kwendeni huku, kwendeni huku.
We are out of that era.
We are also in a world where no one is safe. We started with youths being abducted, being held incommunicado, and being told that they are indisciplined. And the ball is still on their parents' court. The president of this nation and his MPs went on a spree of calling us indisciplined youths. They never looked at the spark of their eyes. Some of them talked of how they could kill 5,000 Gen Zs if they had chance. From the northern Kenya. The northern Kenya, where now we are hearing about Al-Shabaab abducting 5 chiefs in Mandera. If you wake up, come to work, go home, you say thank you to God, just like CIM, industrial.
Certified industrial mathematician.
Because it's no longer safe. We are not at ease anymore. But I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for the chance.
You're very much welcome. Now, this morning we're beginning our discussion on a very high note, and we're beginning our discussion by the headline on the Standard. It is a day when we're expecting the president to be having his, do we call it developmental tours or political tours or campaign?
It's a tour.
Let's call it a tour into the northeastern region. He recently was in the western region, and he lobbied really hard for his 2027 election bid. Now, there's quite a lot that is expected on the northeastern region. And just before this is happening, just before he sets foot in the northeastern region, 5 chiefs are abducted. And all this time is not by unknown persons. We are used to abducted by a known person. But this time, it is alleged to be abduction by the Al-Shabaab. Now, they have given us an identity. This time, we know who is abducting who. So, let me begin by you, Mushiri. Oh,
yes,
it's
Moreidi.
Apologies for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Let me begin with you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this? A president is going to visit a place.
Yeah.
And then there's an abduction of people who are planning his visit.
Yeah. So I think it is maybe it is quite frustrating to see that before the visit of a head of state that we're still talking about the issue of insecurity. You know, in our country, I think we have trivialized this conversation. You know, we have been talking about insecurity, but the government has been claiming that it is actually beating its chest, saying that we have done all these, and there is no issues about abductions and whatever. Even this same government, it has gone ahead and said that we are abducting ourselves. So the big question is, could the chiefs have abducted themselves? But now we have the answers, that we have set the standards. We have shown people that we like abductions. So these Al-Shabaab or these fellas from this neighboring country, they are assisting us with what our government have been doing, because we have always been saying this thing, complaining to the government. So I think it is like a reinforcement for the government. So it is very shameful for our chiefs. I wonder now, where safe can we, the citizens, be? If even the chiefs who are meant to be providing security to us are now calling for maybe such issues about insecurity. So it is a wake-up call. Like, we should not take this matter like in the light hands, like the president and this government people are trying to show. We need security. Security is paramount. When we talk about abductions, that thing is frustrating. The government should understand that we, the young people, we are totally disgusted by this government. Because you can't say that when I speak, when I question the government, that I am fearing that I might be abducted, then where is my right of having the freedom of speech? So you see this issue, it is like going, you see, we are just trying to talk as if it's a very easy task, or maybe it's a small thing, but you see now it is going ahead to even, we are not sure whether the safety of that place is now guaranteed, because now you see that what happened yesterday. So it is a wake-up call. We should not take this issue lightly. Let the government do its role. Let it provide security to the people, and let's stop this issue about abductions. We are from those eras that we were afraid of speaking. Right now people are informed, and we can't sit and watch to see our country going to the wrong direction. We must caution and we must speak, because I don't understand why we as the people, we should just keep quiet to just watch the country going to the wrong direction. Then where will these leaders, what will be putting this government of ours into the balances? You see, right now we don't have people who are putting our government to the checks and balances. We don't have an opposition. You know, our president have managed to like win all the political class. He has taken all the people, he's like giving them. If he sees you like you are bringing competition to him, he'll just call you and he gives you a docket. Like, that is what the president is doing. So now the people are left for themselves. They are fighting by themselves. So, and you see, the people are actually frustrated by everything by this government. So it is a high time that this government provides and sufficient security. And it is not like we are humbly requesting. That is their role. We are demanding for security. And the president should, with his administration, make sure that the security of the people is guaranteed. Yeah,
We are demanding security.
We are demanding for security.
Now, Ojwang, Alex has mentioned that if the people who are on the political ranks or people who are supposed to be protecting us as citizens are abducted, what then are we as citizens? How then is our security, we as citizens? What is your stance on this rising wave of abductions that is unattended by the government and now by foreign officials? Now, if we can't contain our own abductions, how then are we going to contain this by the foreign nationals?
We have made it a norm as a country that you can just get abducted and nothing happens. That we have laws that are not clear on what penalties an abductor should get, what criminal charges to charge them. They are saying there is nothing like forced disappearance in our Kenyan constitution, yet it is happening. The president himself, Salasia talked of president not having advisors. He is not safe in Mandera, not at all. How Mandera chiefs were abducted by suspected Al-Shabaab gunmen. On page 3, Daily Nation. Exactly. Administrators were heading to El-Wak to help with screening of applicants for national identity cards. Screening of applicants for national identity cards. In other parts of the country, the youths are crying. Hatuna ID, Ruto. Hatuna ID, Murkomen. But the same screening happened on our borders. If you have not noticed, na nataka hapa hivi kila Mkenya kuwe very keen, tuko na sudden rise ya watu kutoka jamii za huko juu. I don't want to call them Somalis because it's still not clear if they are our people or not our people. I have interacted with so many of them around universities. The national language of Kenya is Swahili. It beats the odd of how you are in university and you still don't know any Swahili. All you speak, if it's not your mother tongue, from the north, it's English. So, it could also mean that these people are not Kenyans. Our chiefs are believed to have intel. The president, every 6 a.m. at State House yenye yako, lazima apewe briefing usiku kumekuaje, 24-hour briefing. Na hii briefing huanza kwa assistant chief. Kwa ground wanasema aje kwa hii kijiji. Assistant chief ana brief chief. So chief akona a lot of ground information which is used by NIS for intel, which is used by KDF for intel, which is fed to the president every 6 a.m. Alafu usikie 5 chiefs wamebebwa na abductors wako toka nchi ingine. Ni makosa yetu. Ni makosa ya the man who is in charge at the moment. Some people may say, he is not my president. I don't recognize him or I don't do this. But he was sworn in accordance to Kenyan constitution. He is not able to protect himself if he cannot protect his chiefs. His chiefs are mandated to protect us, but it seems they can't since they are not able to protect themselves. We saw people like Kalonzo Musyoka. Wakona mambwa. Wamejiekea.
For their own security.
I saw former President LSK Nelson Havi. Wakona mambwa. Na wanasema activate citizen arrest. Citizen arrest is wewe Sylvia Nyango ukiona CIM, Certified Industrial Mathematician Alex ana get abducted by people who are not using a Mariamu, by people who are not using GK and are not uniformed, have not identified themselves as police, you should not accept that to happen in any way. No one, when these people were being abducted, imeandikwa hapa hivi, according to the witnesses, the 8:30 a.m. incident caught security agencies by surprise. Umeshika? So wakibebwa, no one knew kwenye wanapelekwa. Juu hawa watu ni Al-Shabaab, hawajatoka Kenya. But wewe hawezi tell huyu ni Mkenya ama huyu si Mkenya. Our cops are not well informed. I think the best thing they do in Kiganjo is run and know how to hold a gun, know how to throw tear gas. There was a time we had a maandamano happening around Thika Road concerning KM Kiwanja people. The police, because they want to show how powerful they are, they were harassing everyone, including myself and our team. I was beaten badly by police using those mitutu ya bunduki ile wenye wanaweka tear gas hapa mbele na kugonga nayo vichwa, just for you to feel, just for them to feel they are powerful. But they cannot protect chiefs. Chiefs are being taken out of their eyesight. Kenya Defense Forces said to be leading the team to search for and rescue the chiefs. None of the 5 has been found alive or dead. But the president of the nation, Kenya, will be starting his tour in the northern region. How sure are we he is safe? Does it concern him that his people are being abducted and he is aiding that? His own CSs are fighting him on that. His own MPs, those who are believed to be his number 1 cheerleaders, choir masters, are now against it. Or those expected to be cheering him on are against it. We as a country should say no to abductions, not the president. The president is a representative of the people, not your MP. Your MP is a representative of you. We must remove fear from our lives, because either way we will get abducted. No one has submitted an appeal to be abducted tomorrow, next week, or next month. The civil society are crying. Yesterday we had the Kitengela 3, Bob Njagi and the 2 brothers, crying that their lives are in danger. Mlolongo 4, 2 are dead. 2 are still missing. And we are still quiet. Until when? Until when, fellow Kenyans?
It's quite unfortunate. On that note, I think when we talk about our security issues, it is really painful, because when you look at our leaders speak, they say tumeweka mikakati, multinational agencies and using technologies and all that. And I wonder how these leaders are even going to get to the northeastern region, because often the cars that travel, previous years we've seen that garis in a safari, then on the way there's a landmine and is in explode. So if that is addressed, well and good, but we hope much is going to be done to better our nation. Now moving on, we are moving to the economies of our country, and that is following Mbadi's Bunge la Wananchi that was held yesterday. And in that meeting, what was quite interesting was that first, let me give Mbadi his flowers. He was well prepared. He was well prepared to address the people. One thing about a good public speaker, a good speech, a good proposal, is when you handle the challenges before they're presented to you. And when he was talking about them, he said, I know you're going to ask me about nimewambia economy ni nzuri, lakini pesa haiko kwa mifuko yenyu, about disposable income. And he mentioned quite a number of things why disposable income is not on Kenyans' pockets. Among them is high interest rate loans by government, not by government, by banks and all that. But now, there's one thing you mentioned, Alex.
Yes.
That in this government, when you're a critic of the government,
yes,
you're given something. You're given something so that utulize boli, like utulie.
Exactly.
So Mbadi, before he was appointed as the CS of Treasury, he was a very strong critic of the Kenya Kwanza government in terms of what economies of the country is concerned. But now he is the champion defending the nation yes, he's saying the inflation rate is lower and all that. So what do you think about his saying on the economy of our country? Is it really that the government is working, or is it just supporting the government for the role?
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvia, for that question. I think even before I answer that one, let me first of all commend the Bunge la Mwananchi. You see, the reason as why we are having the Bunge la Mwananchi, I feel like even the Bunge la Mwananchi is delivering more than our very parliament, because of late we haven't been seeing anything good that is coming out from that parliament. You see, during the times to pass the bills that are actually good for the people, these people are never there. I don't know when the parliament even happens. We don't see them. The time they should be full in the parliament, they are never there.
They're resuming session today, actually.
Yeah, so like you see, the reason is why the Bunge la Mwananchi, we feel like there is nobody who is speaking for us. So the Bunge la Mwananchi, and I thank you, Mr. Mbadi, for going there. At least he went there like a casual man, at least to hear. Because for sure, people are suffering, and we need these issues to be addressed. You see, the political class, they are living up there. They are actually in their own sphere. Everything is working out. Even if you go and inquire from them the cost of chumvi or maybe bread, some of them don't even know. But they are saying that everything is happening. So about the issue about the performance of our economy, one thing I want to make it clear without fear of contradiction, like this government, most of its agencies, or maybe most of the people who are in this government, they are pro-government. First of all, what we need to understand, that there is no time that these people will come and actually accept defeat. Even the president himself, even when you are drowning, he will come and tell you you are not drowning. You look, you are not drowning, but your head, your whole body is just in water. He's telling you. So I don't know where we are headed as a country, because it has now become like a norm. Like you guys keep on complaining forever. You can complain day in, day out, but we from the government, we will defend. Look at the government spokesperson, Isaac Maura. Every time he speaks, he will tell you, like he's confidently saying that this is happening, but there is nothing is happening. How comes you can tell us that the new university funding model is working, and yet it is not working? Actually, yesterday you saw even the CEO of HELB, they resulted to maybe going back to the old model, having wasted a lot of resources. Like they have a committee they have set, and all day you have been singing, like this university funding model is working out, but it's not working. Then in the long run, you result to maybe after the demonstrations. Why do you wait until we get to such points? It's the time you are acting. So for me, I think, and other things, let's say for example in the health sector, also we have been having issues with SHA. For instance, let me just make it clear. You know, it is good to talk from what is real. Like for instance, from the company we are working from, we normally pay our SHA. The company will be paying, and it does that. But actually, as from last week, we had one of my colleagues who had an issue with maybe the issue of SHA. But after maybe going back and forth, the system has not been working. You know, the SHA people resulted to maybe going ahead and uploading all those things manually, because they don't have the correct data, they have not upgraded the systems, nothing is working. But yet in all political meetings, everything in the news, they are saying that everything is working. So for me, I want just to put it clear to the government agencies and to these people who are pro-government, before you come to confirm anything, like telling us that the economy is working, first of all confirm. I tell you, this issue they are talking about now, the economy is perfect. Yes, the issue, they might say the inflation is decreasing, but how many factories are we shuttering right now? I tell you from experience, personally from our park, we have not less than 30 factories operating within the park. But of late, I have just been hearing people are lamenting the cost of electricity is very high. People cannot even manage to pay their workers. And the government is still saying that like we have promoted this thing, the economy is going on well. I tell you right now, most industries are shuttering down. The manufacturing industries in our country, they don't have any competition. They can't compete with the people who are importing things. I tell you, even today, people are importing some goods without even paying any taxes. Some commodities are just getting in, and because these people just know the know-how of getting away with it, they can manage. Like, our economy is not going to the right direction. I don't know up to when we shall sing this song, but the government have like stated and have decided they will have their ears deaf. They won't hear. They want to do what they feel. They don't want to act to the reality. So for me, I can't maybe accept that the economy or maybe our country is going towards the right direction because I feel like Kenyans are suffering. I tell you today, like, you see most of these issues, you know, if you don't have security, you don't have education, you don't have even food, how can you manage even to work? And I tell you, Sylvia, Kenyans are very hardworking. You see, it gets to a time that now they feel like they can't do anything. They must go to the least they can go and do so that they can raise something for their stomachs. Like right now, you see, you heard Mr. Mbadi yesterday saying that they have now dug enough to those people who receive the pay slips. You know, the government has really dug. You know, the issue about the housing levy, the SHA thing, then we have the pay, doubling the pay. Like, I tell you, people are frustrated. Anybody who is working, for instance, how comes you can tell me 40% of my salary I'm giving to the government, and that is literally what is doing. You have not yet counted. That is a direct thing that I'm paying to the government. Then you don't count the commodities that I'm purchasing, the transport I'm using, all these things I'm giving back to the government. So you find like I'm not working even for myself. I'm working for the government. And as if that is not enough, the government, despite of maybe having collected all these from me, it is providing the least services to the people. So I say that the government, we don't have an issue about maybe collecting the taxes because the government should do. But why are they misappropriating these funds? Why are they not prioritizing, like serving the people, giving the necessary things, like providing the commodities that we require and enhancing everything that we require so that we can feel it is a win-win situation. But we should not be feeling like if we are being punished. Actually, it is like it is a punishment to live in Kenya. And that is very painful to the young people because getting a job, and not just a job, a good job that you are getting a good salary, it is becoming so bad. You can't bear the situation. I tell you, most young people, before we transition now from school to get a job, to get a family, like you feel like you can't do anything. You can't fathom, you can't understand like what is happening. The government has made it like very bad, a bad situation for you to survive in our country. So about the economy, we can't cheat the government that we are performing good. I think we are performing even worse.
So in your thought, you think this is just a propaganda?
It is a propaganda. We are just trying to paint the government, just applying lipsticks for them to look beautiful. But I tell them they even look bad.
Okay.
The president should address the right issue. Let's stop issues about maybe closing industries. Let them enhance so that, you know, there is no way the government can say that they are providing employment by this housing levy thing or maybe by providing mujengo. How comes, Sylvia, I will study my degree here? After studying for 6 years, nifanye mjengo, ati nichukue kabiru nianze kufanya mjengo. I think that is shameful. We are not even encouraging our young brothers to take part in this education. So, like, you know, this issue about maybe having good role models, it should be created. You know, my younger brother is studying because he might see I am also doing better with my education. Then how do you expect, like, punish these ones that are there already studying and then expect others to come and study? We need a platform. We need some time. We need to be in that field that we can be allowed to execute the knowledge that we have acquired in the universities. But not tell me to do engineering in JKUATA to end up becoming a foreman. It can't go like that. We are not happy, and the government should up its game.
That is well said. Another thing that Mbadi said yesterday, that this country is not going to have peace, economic peace, until 2034. Because 2027, we have an expiry, on February, we'll be having an expiry of the 900 million euro bond. 2029, we also have 1.1 billion. 2032 we have 1.2 billion, 2033 1.4 billion, 1.5 billion, and 2034 1.2 billion. So totaling this, it's about 5.8 billion Kenyan shillings that is supposed to be paid between this period and the period of 2034. And during this period, the government is saying it's going to tax Kenyans to pay the debt. And also at the same time, Madi is saying there will be no more VAT, especially for the salaried Kenyans who have pay slips. Do you think this is just a propaganda?
As per now, in fact, to echo what CIM Alex said, it's not 40% that the government is taking in terms of direct cuts on a pay slip. I mean, you're talking about pay slips wafanyakazi, sana sana hawa wa serikali pia. 45% goes to those taxes. Maybe some people use 5% on black tax. That's 50% right now. Transport, take 10%, that is 60%. In every work, unafaa ujilipe kidogo. You can't manage from that. So, Mbadi saying that they are going to ensure that no VAT for them is a plus. But the question I keep telling Kenyans to ask, to always make sure it's lingering in their minds is, ni sawa, wameondoa VAT, ni wapi wanatoa hizi pesa? Wanasema tuko na mikopo 4.8 billion in total.
5.8.
Tunafaa kulipa, right? We need to review your debt. You should only, as a Kenya, and according to our constitution, we should only borrow for development. Kitu inaonekana, si tukope tulipe loan kwingine. Eurobond haijulikani ilifanya nini. Hata hiyo ingine yenye bado tutalipa haijulikani inafanya nini. And then you are telling us that we will get there in 2034. I believe we have so many people who can do it today. In US, a president on his inauguration day made 48 executive orders that have shaken the world. Right now, Kenyans are crying. We don't have ARVs, we don't have capitation for funding when it comes to matters health.
You say it.
Yes.
And that's all budgeted corruption. We have a lot of money, we have a lot of resources as a country. Maybe that's why we are not so much involved in the Congo War. People who are so much involved in the Congo War are people who are looking for a looting spree in those mines in Eastern Congo. But us, bado tuko poa kiasi. We are playing politics with it. Could be because our president is still new, but Tanzania's president is still new. The old folks like Kagame and Museveni and Ramaphosa, who is doing his second term, have been there a little bit. President Ruto has not been there, so yeye ajui fit. Come back to his economy and how to save it. If you are not doing this, then where are you getting this money? I am foreseeing a point where when the right time comes and this proposed budget finance bill is presented now to all Kenyans. Unajua sasa hizi watu wanawaka on documents zenye iko leaked, imeachiliwa, wanaachilia kidogo kidogo. And that's why Mbadi is not being bad, is being good on PR. He did not start with Bunge la Mwananchi. He started on a podcast on NTV. Akapeana story yake, akaingia Bunge la Wananchi, akapeana story yake. Saa hizi during such a particular show, ndo sasa sisi wa Kenya tunaanza kupeana our side of the story. We need the document. We may be gullible, but we are not stupid as Kenyans. Give us the bill, wacha sisi tujisomee, tujionee kwenye unasema hautaweka VAT hapa, hautaweka VAT pale, usituimbie.
You want to say?
Yeah, and I'm challenging Kenyans to be reading. Don't consume what you're hearing always. And further, the youth have shown us the way. Go further, verify information. We had been told that kuna Grammys za Kenya. Verify that information, you'll know if it's true or false. You'll know if it's PR or not. Saizi we know PR. Saizi tunajua tukichochwa, tunajua tukiambiwa ukweli. But as Rigathi says, wewe ukipata hizo do nakula. Usikose kutokea mahali unasikia kuna pesa, Sylvia. We need that money tukule. But on matters economy, ama uchumi wa Kenya, we are yet to see. We don't want to hear what Mbadi is saying. Give us the bill. Let's interact with the bill. Now, give us meaningful public participation. Let us tell you about this bill. Sini yetu. This is not Mbadenomics or Utonomics, sio zao, ni zetu.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is well said. Now, still on Mbadi, there is an issue of, it's a complaint. People are working for the government, the tenders supplying goods for the government, and they stay 10 years. Yesterday there was a story done, I think, of Mandera. Is it Mandera or Garissa, where residents were asking President Ruto to intervene. They have worked for the government for 10 years without pay. And also, Mbadi also mentioned yesterday that 95% of pending bills are of people who worked for the government, and the government owes them at less than 10 million Kenyan shillings. Like each person, pesa yako iko between 1 and 10 million, like hujapita 10 million. And those people are 95%. And these are small and micro business enterprises. So you see, in a way, it is killing the upcoming businesses.
Yeah, sure.
And it's saying that those are the ones who are going to be given priority in the payment plan. So it has taken a long time. Do you think the government is really supporting these small and medium enterprises with this, Alex?
Let me start by saying that you see, our government, just as my brother has said here, you know, our government is doing a lot of PR. I think our government is trying to maybe convince what we want to hear. Like the government will tell you, we are planning to do this, we will do it, we are doing it, and now we are doing it, and will not do it. It will be the best to tell us the stories. And about maybe these government projects, about these government tenders, first of all, we need to understand, you know, a tender, I think, for those who have done a procurement and contract management, everything with procurement, it has its flow. There is the first stage to the last stage. There is the bidding of the tenders, and also the giving of the tenders, and of course to the payments and everything. And of course the kind of work that you have done. So getting to this point that we are getting people who have not been paid to even more than 10 or maybe to approximate 10 years, and it's not 10 bob, or maybe it is like less amount of money, but we have been having the government say that we have set aside this money to do this task. So then where does that money go? Because I don't think that our government has been doing or maybe imposing projects without having allocated the money. Every year in every financial budget, we normally hear the government having set this amount of money for this kind of a project. For your information, actually there is no project that normally starts without the allocation of the resources from the government. So I don't understand, like now they are telling us that they have not managed to sort all these bills or maybe all these monies, and it's not a small amount of money that they are talking about. It is a huge amount of money. How sure are we whether it was paid or not paid? Where is the transparency in this? Where is the accountability in this? You see, most of the government tenders and whatever, they are associated with corruption, giving tenders to their people, even the companies that are directly linked to them, using proxies so that they can get all this money back to their pockets. So the issue about the government, it needs to come out clearly. Let us know very well, because it is not an issue of them alone. Let us see them coming on board, telling us that this is the kind of tenders we have, and we shall allocate them like in this manner. Tell us where the money went, the money that you got, and you said that you have paid and you have been doing, or maybe where have our money been going. So that means then the money that we have been getting, we have even been getting loans to fund our projects, but we don't neither see the project. We have seen it very, very common. Our president is launching projects that have been launched. He's relaunching. You know, this government of ours is very interesting in its operation. So the governor will come and launch the project, then the president will come and now do the grand launch. The grand launch. And you know, it is very unfortunate that we are even launching some projects that have not yet been completed or maybe done well. They will come even launch a tap water, and there is no pipe down there to bring water, or maybe there is no water. Like this government, I don't, the issue about we have actually lost trust in this government. For me, I can't believe anything with this government. Even if the president was very sincere in his conversation, like telling us that we don't, or we have this debt, and for sure we have not paid, I can't even believe. Reason being, in the other development projects that they have been doing, even if they have not been doing a good job. We can't trace, even, for instance, even in the mere thing, for instance, even the issue about NCGDF, most of the MPs that we have, they can't account to the bursaries they have allocated. They have doubled, some of them have given double amounts to students. Some students, you can't even get their admission letters. Some schools can't confirm whether they received any monies. But the government side, they have disbursed all the amounts of money. So where does this money go? So the question about the government, we can't trust our government. That is the state we are. And we are telling these people, they should not be trying to convince us about development, about projects, about whatever. Some of these things, we just need to see them and we can understand. We are not that foolish that when the government is performing, we won't understand. So this government should stop maybe forcing this down our throats as if we can't see. We are human beings. We can understand.
We are
so
not foolish.
yeah, I don't think they should tell us where the money went.
Okay.
These people, we hear them, they are just flying now and then, every now and then, they are just flying. We hear most businesses, they are just investing outside. They are just living flamboyant lifestyles. They are buying just posh cars each now and then. You see this political class of ours, they are living a life. They are living a very good life. Then they are telling us, you guys, you need to continue believing in the process. You will get there. There is no money, yet they are staying a lavish lifestyle. So how do you expect us to believe in you, yet you are telling us we have entrusted you with our money and we don't see the outcome of maybe that money? So I feel like these monies, it is somewhere in their pockets, and they should produce this money. I think the president, or maybe this current administration, it has managed to like make its roots everywhere, from the judiciary to everywhere to the executive, like they have invaded all the loopholes, so that nobody will caution. You hear the cases, maybe the cases about corruption, maybe actually you can't even hear them in the parliament, or maybe in the court cases, like they have managed to maneuver. You will just get away with it. Anybody who is a pro-government person, you can't hear him or maybe her like being accused of maybe having involved themselves in these issues about corruption. But we know and we understand clearly that you are running our money, you have everything, you have all the sources, so you are just doing anything you can do with it and just giving us the little that we can and just telling us what you think we need to hear. It should stop, and we are not happy about that.
So you're saying there's a lot of budgeted corruption in our economy
It is actually, our country is very nice at budgeting for corruption. Actually, we can't actually avoid to say that. That is the very naked truth.
Now, there's a story on the Daily Nation. I think it's the Daily Nation. I don't have that paper here with me. Where the government is making U-turns on its projects. I think it's among the budgeted corruption that we are talking about right now, because all these projects like HELB, SHA, there are committees that are formed, the task forces that are formed to ensure that all these are implemented in the country. And as we speak right now, NHIF, SHA, HELB, eCitizen, they are reverting to the old systems as we speak. So, what's your stand on that, Ojwa?
First of all, it's sad. It's cunning. Wewe kuamka kutengeneza system zako ndio upate pesa and then urudi kule kwenye ulitoka, because from the start Kenyans have been telling you it's not working, it doesn't work that way, but wewe umekuwa just cunning. So in the Daily Nation, the biggest headline is Inside Ruto's Policy U-turns, and some of the setbacks ni hizo zenye umesema. HELB, state resorts to HELB to release upkeep cash to students to avert a crisis after new funding model was blocked by courts. The new university funding model was blocked by courts. Yesterday on Monday 3rd, there were protests in Thika Road, CBD, by different groups. One of the groups were the university students seeking for their help money to be released. The other group was Technical University of Kenya employees downing their tools, and they said there will be no examinations administered for this particular semester. Meaning
Actually, TUK has closed indefinitely after lecturers beating their strike. So as we speak, it has been closed indefinitely.
Yeah, it all happened yesterday. But by the end of that day, help ati wameachilia pesa na wamerudi kwa the old model. Why could they not have done that a long time ago? Why waste the state's resources and all that? Why waste the state's time in all that? Why play politics? Why downplay this so that you can just revert to it? Unajua, wewe utafurahi saizi ati imerudi. To them, they've done business at it and it's completed. Toka hapo ingia SHA, kuna 104 billion that was released for the system upgrade. But right now, they are saying hospitals had to revert to the defunct NHIF systems and even go manual to process claims until a new system provider was brought on board. Umesikia mpaka Alex akisema kwa mahali wanafanya kazi bado watu wanapitia shida the same, that your SHA contributions zinafanyika hizo hazichelewi. But when you visit any public hospital, private hospital, and you require your services to be, the fee to be removed from the SHA, your SHA contributions, unaambiwa hapana.
Someone told me yesterday that the system only works when you're making payments. Yeah. When it comes to services, they are failing.
So they are reverting back to NHIF. Why budget such kind of corruption? Unajua bado utarudi pale. Kina David Ndii and those economic advisors, nini wanafanya kama sio looting spree ya kuallow their spouses? Imagine, unajua proxies hufanyika with the people from outside your family. These people are not ashamed. Wanatumia mpaka mabibi zao. They don't respect them. Niaje mama?
Mpaka watoto.
Wewe umeitisha governor kule Kiambu wamekunyima. Come here, shika ya 104 billion, mugawane na huyu, mtengeneze system. But ilikataa. Hiyo ingine ni e-citizen. Officials have struggled to enforce the single payment platform for the government services because of delays to verify payments. I asked someone yesterday, someone who is well trained in matters business, a graduate of BBIT, Bachelor of Business Information Technology, a person who has been a teacher in this country. And I asked them, what do you think will be Ruto's legacy when he leaves office, in case he does in 2027? Or what will he be? What platform will he be campaigning on? Atasema, mimi kama rais nilikuja nikaweka nini? And he said, his legacy will be the e-citizen single payment plan, so that it reduces all this budgeted corruption. Wacheni niwaambie ukweli. Hata tukiweka pesa zote kwa account moja za kuibiwa, zitaibiwa. There is a hydra. Itogo hydra cobra. Ile yenye kama vichwa 7. Iko na kichwa kile kikubwa ndo bado husema, ndo huwa kina direct wewe utaelekea hapa in times of defense. But yote ina fail. So our president should sit down at like a mom. Mahali atulie tu, relax. Hata kama ataingia huko Northern, atafute kamoja huko Kanyasi, Katend. Atulie jiulize. In 2027, nitaambia watu nilifanya nini? Politics have played right and have been active. Nimewapatia kila kitu hadi gava. Sijui wa Kenya walisema they need a broad-based government. I've given them that. What else do they want? That's not what we want. Assuming leo wata launch projects huko. Sasa wanasema ati wako screening ya IDs huko Northern Kenya. Hata upewe ID na kesho wabducto, inakusaidia wapi Sylvia? Hata nikikutengenezea barabara hapa, of which bado hakuna barabara yenye tumesikia hiyo ni ya Ruto. It's launching, relaunch, grand launch again. Sasa so hiyo barabara hata kitengeneza, ni nani watapitia when all of us have been abducted? Wameturudisha help. Ni nani watatumia hii help kama sisi kama vijana bado we are still getting abducted and dying in the process and no one is asking a question. Our international community, instead of helping, hata wao wanakuja wasaidiane equal abduction. Wanataka Besigye, tuma Ruto aende akashike. Wanataka Maria Sarungi, tuma Ruto. Sasa abductors kutoka nje ama militia groups, now militia groups Al-Shabaab, wanapiga the same calls. Tusukumeni kipindi, sawa, shika watano machief, peleka Somalia. Hapo ndo tutaishi.
Before we get into social issues, just a quick one, Alex.
Yes.
Do you think, comparing Ruto's government with the Kibaki's government, do you think Ruto's government has fared well in the 2 years compared to Kibaki's 5 years?
Actually, we can't compare anything Ruto has done with Kibaki's government. Ruto is actually living in his own mind. Actually, he's trying to do some things that I don't think, I think maybe he has another understanding of our country, but his performance is totally, actually it is a revert of what the government or maybe the other government has done. Maybe just to mention before we leave this issue about these U-turns. Having it getting to a point like we are getting back to where we were, you know, I think as a president or maybe for any government, the worst thing you should do or maybe you could have done or maybe you can do for our country, it is finding something at a good position and instead of advancing and making it better, you are making it worse. Actually, it is better you retain it there rather than actually making it worse. So you see them going back to the paying with the help, the former model, then that tells you the other model was working on better. There is nothing that is new or so good that is in this new model that up to now they have not managed to revert or maybe have not managed to do. Let me just mention, you know, when I was in the university, in my third year, we studied about modeling. And in modeling, we normally have the steps that you normally follow, like during such imposition of new policies, new problems, like solving, like how you know to do those things. I understand that we have 6 steps. In the 6 steps, you normally first of all analyze the data. You maybe get all the possible outcomes, or maybe you get the possible solution that you can get. Then you analyze the best models that you can use to solve that problem. Then you put that problem into a task, into a task, or maybe you try it. Then after trying it, you can now maybe see the results that have come out of that, then you advance and maybe advise on that, how it should be handled. But for this government, I think they normally have their thinkers, or maybe those people who are giving them these policies, or maybe these advices, they tell them overnight. And you see this president of ours, anytime he receives anything new, he thinks that it will work, he normally come like a night angel and will announce without even having confirmed whether we have the accurate data, we have the accurate system to handle this program. And that is why everything that this government is maybe trying to impose, it is failing. Like this government is in a rush. It is treating every matter in urgency. I tell the president that this country is not his. It is ours, all of us. It is not a must that he is the one who will deliver our country to the best place that we deserve. So he should take us slowly. Our scope is not that of his speed. So he should, maybe if he feels like he have to impose this thing, let him involve us. Let have the public participation, but not having issues. They come at their desk at night, and then tomorrow in the morning they are near. They have changed. They have shifted from shisha to whatever. It's not giving. Even the help thing. It is a lot of things that are not working that have been imposed by this very, very illegitimate.
So Mr. President, atupeleke
na pesi yetu.
Kenya ni home.
Kenya ni nyumbani na ni yetu sisi wote. Na kila Mkenya anataka kujenga nchi yetu.
Okay.
Acha kujenga Kenya na kiburi.
Now leaving politics on that note, that your best.
Sija compare walai hiyo ya Naruto.
Aongee kutoke.
Wacha initoke. Every president when getting sworn in anakuwa na kitu inaitwa executive orders.
Yes.
Those are orders that you make. Now, these orders mostly are not challenged either in the court or parliament. In the year 27th December, Kenyans went on polls and elected for the very first time a new regime and not KANU. We could compare Ruto's regime to KANU regime, but not hiyo NAC yenye ilikuwa 202. In 202 a president came na education ikakuwa free. Kazi ya machief ilikuwa hii. Tani kuambie, because some of us were still young, to make sure kila mtoto anaenda shule. So 2022, before Ruto came to power, alikuwa amesema nikiingia huko, kitu cha kwanza, internet is free for everyone, especially for the youth. Ajira yenye tumetoka kuongelelea, hiyo time ndio ilikuwa inapigiwa nini sana, that nitai-empower zaidi. That has not happened. In fact, saizi bundles ziko expensive for those using bundles. Internet inasumbua for those using it. That's why Starlink came in. Saizi wanaambiwa hapana, hiyo yenyu ya juu haiko fiti, we go under the sea. In the same year, 2 years in, Kibaki had a constitution reforms minister, anaitwa Martha Karua. Ilifika mahali hadi walikosana because she was on her toes working. In Ruto's 2 years, we've had increased cases of violations of the constitution, mutilation of the constitution. Vitu zenye tulizisikia mara ya mwisho time ya Moi kama abductions, zinakuja hivi ati tunakaa vitu tulikuwa tunasoma kwa vitabu manze, tunaziona.
It was a movie.
In 2 years. In 2 years, during Kibaki's time, mambo yalikuwa yamebadilika. The economy had changed. But this time round, kitu imeanguka ni dollar. Are you feeling the weight of dollar going down? No.
But
no one
but
is
you're
feeling.
saying we have reserves that can sustain the country for up to 4 months.
We have. But are they doing that? Are they using these resources to serve us for those months that they're talking about? No. They are pocketing them and then crying, oh, Trump bana, mbona unatufinya, tupe madawa. Sisi wenyewe tulishughulikia madawa. Wengine wanatuambia, for us to buy meat from you, lazima mchanja wanyama wenyu in this way. Kenya Meat Commission can provide that meat for Kenyans and we buy. We don't have to export. We don't have to go through what they want. Ati ndio sasa tutengeneze. So Ruto should not compare his administration with that of Kibaki. Compare to na ya Moi. Tutampe liwe na tuseme Moi took this country when it was still a teenager. We were 15 years old with the first president Jomo Kenyatta. So amepata nchi yenye kila mtu ako kichwa. Alikalia watu sana after 1982 attempted coup that failed. Kutoka hapo hivyo shida za Moi mingi zilikuwa ni political problems, not development problems. In today's newspaper, Kabarak University wana celebrate. Wakati wa Moi kuliletwa universities mingi. Wakati wa Moi kumekuwa na Nyayo T-zones, ndio watu wakuwa empowered huko mashinani kulima chai, kulima kahawa, kulima miwa, and all those industries. We are not seeing that now. I think President Ruto is a president of his own. He's a unique man. Let's say that.
Oh my God. Now, let me just leave it at that. President Ruto is a man of his own. Now, there's an interesting story on the Standard. It's a social story or a health story. After GMOs, talk of super babies gaining traction. You know what this is about? That sasa wanasayansi wameamua wafanye innovations. Sasa unaweza amua mtoto wako atakaje, atakuwa na IQ kiasi gani, atakuwa na genetics aina gani, atakuwa resistant to which diseases. That is on the Standard. That is story page number 3. That is the story we have. Now tumetoka wakati GMO ilikuwa inawashtua ati I want to cook my own food. Sasa ni GMO. What do you think about the innovations in the health industry and how it's going to affect our future? Alex?
Yes, I think time is rushing, and as time is rushing, the same way technology is advancing, and I think we are expecting even more of such to happen. You see, the other day we were talking about GMOs, what we are eating. Just amia mahindi, we are talking maybe we don't want that because of course we have the repercussion maybe it has. Maybe for this one now I feel like we now want to alter. We are now, because I think the issue about genetic, we are altering what the Bible, of course, God. Maybe let me bring in the factor of God here and the Bible, because I think we are now questioning the work of God, because I think it was enough between the man and the woman to just deliver a baby. With them not doing it and maybe having a lot of such things to alter. Yeah, so I feel like if it getting to this place, I think we need to know the repercussions, because I feel like even if the consumption of the current things, or maybe the issues that have been having there about the technology, we have not been seeing, some of them have been having bad repercussions to our people. And of course, it is not all that are working out. Sometimes, you see, we might now change. Like, we are a people of, maybe, for instance, we in the Africa, we have our culture and our things. We are talking of maybe getting back to our culture, our values, our heredity, things of the sort. So I wonder, now that we will now be coming and having these other generations, I don't know where we are headed as a country or maybe as the world, but I feel, for me, I'm yet to know how it will turn out around. I don't know. I'm altering the baby, my baby. I want him to be an expert. What if he becomes a more expert than I expected? Even these zombies, they are just created in the same manner. When we are testing this thing, me, I will advise, or maybe, we have maybe the limited access to these things. And I tell you, most of these things that normally originate from the Western culture, or maybe from these other countries, I feel like they normally have an agenda. Every people, or maybe these people, they are not talking about the problem of food. They want to explore space. They are now even trying to create their own earth on the air. So for me, I think for us here, we should at least first of all cope up with the problems that we have of water, because we don't have water for our people. We should first of all cope up with the issue about food. Let's have our stomachs full for our people, rather than encouraging things, because me, I feel it will have a far bad consequences compared to the good. Let's adapt to the normal thing of maybe holding our heredity and our well-being, because altering the mind of a person, we don't know whether it is a person we have or it's just a robot walking around. And we expect this person to be interacting with now us, who are the normal human beings. So what if that man, or maybe those kids, or maybe whatever they have, they will now be catalyzed to maybe having those, maybe you don't know how it will turn out back there. So for me, I feel maybe we can't maybe refuse to have technology advancing and maybe the things of maybe advancement, but let us be cautious. Let us get to learn and to know everything. Let's know the aftermath of this. What is the objective of those people who are imposing this, so that to embrace this thing about technology, then we come to find that our country, or maybe our policies, our facilities, they can't handle these people. You see, it's not just about giving birth to these intellectual, maybe these advanced people. So at least we need to get a well plan about this whole issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Juan, kama tumesema, plastic surgery was not enough, robots was not enough, tukashtuka AI to replace, and now there is editing the future, era of designer babies coming. What do you think about this?
Times are changing. Humans are the same. They want more. They want excellence. Hawataki stress. So they started with si lazima wewe ubebe mimba kama mwanamke. Naweza tafuta mwingine akuwe surrogate mother, nimlipe anibebe. Wakatoka huko wakasema robots zinafaa zitusaidie mahali. Sasa kama uko na pesa, mbona utafute robot mtu mzima na wewe unapenda? As humans, we still have something that is constant in all of us. All of us have an emotion that is called love. Irrespective of who you are, you have love. So you want to love something that you think ndio yako. Again, utapata huyu mwanaume anapenda huyu msichana, lakini huyu msichana hana qualities zenye wewe unataka. So we've seen it in the movies happening that mtu anaingia, unapata like your wife has died, unfortunately. You create someone who looks like her. And now they want watengeneze sasa watoto to grow nako. Vile tu machine ufail, mbona huyu hata fail? It's like domesticating a lion. It's still a carnivorous animal. One day, one time, ikiwa njaa zaidi na ijam, itakufeed. There are mistakes that we cannot run away from because the future is digital. In US, they said that they will ensure in Trump's administration they have planted US flag en masse. Inamaanisha tutoko wengi, tumezaliwa wengi, wengine lazima waende huko. Aliens pia ziko in this world. They are on earth. Hata wanatafuta space. So hii kukua mjanja imeletwa na religion not answering all our problems or questions that we have. For example, God is the creator. How does he create? So the Bible tells you it's through a word of mouth. Amachukua matope hapa, chukua matope pale. Scientists wanauliza haya. Then if you are all created in the image and likeness of God, sisi tuna create nini? Nitafute msichana, huyu msichana tukae chini, tupange haya maneno, then tupate mtoto. But huyu mtoto kuna kitu ana lack. IQ ya huyu mtoto
tatumweke.
Wanasahau. The apple always falls near that tree. So ni wewe ukae chini ujipange, tafuta mtu ambaye ako na akili.
Okay.
Wacha kutafuta akili uweke kwa mtu hayuko. Na ikikataa
achana na
utakuwa umewaste hiyo investment. So iko. But something that is worrying is the painful reality of toxic substances that are being used in the name of innovation to create products that are supposed to help us. In today's standard, utasoma kuhusu vitu zinaiko kwa sanitary pads and towels.
Yeah.
The chemicals there include cadmium, they are affecting us na zitatuumiza tena zaidi. They will affect our women. Kulikuwa na vaccine ya HPV.
We are running out of time.
We are running out. Namaliza. Kulikuwa na vaccination ya HPV. Can I tell you some of the observances that I've made? The first ladies between 13 to 18 that got this vaccination wako na shida za gayism or hizo hormones kupanda za mwanaume. They're not interested with men anymore. They want their fellow females. So we must be very careful on what we are doing and the kind of innovations that we want to help us. Thank you so much.
On that note, just give us your closing remark, then we'll shift to Alex.
So, my closing remark goes to all Kenyans. You have a duty and responsibility to protect your brother. You have a duty and responsibility to protect your sister. These are not people you are related to via blood. These are people who are your neighbors. Ukiumwa saa hii, mtu wa kwanza kusikia ni huyo neighbor yako. Can we end the era of abductions because we have all the power? Constitution of Kenya preamble says that all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised in accordance to the Constitution of Kenya. Yes, we don't have laws to deal with people who are abducting. If we don't have such law, then you as a Kenyan, you should create that law. Enforce citizen unrest. Don't allow anyone to be abducted while you know very well no one will be responsible. Ojwang Mariam.
Thank you so much, Ojwang. Alex?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sylvia. As I wind up, I just have two things to mention to maybe everybody who is watching us, especially to the youth. I just want to tell you that we should not wait, or you should not wait for injustice to happen to you so that you can go seek for justice. Let us stand for justice, because if it doesn't happen to you right now, then tomorrow just know it will find you where you are. And finally, this is our country and we shall not get another country. So if our country If our country goes to the wrong direction because of bad governorship, then we shall be the ones to be held accountable. So our forefathers fought really hard to deliver this country and the independence to us. So I tell you that we should make sure that we deliver at least good governorship for our country. We have good leaders, and we should take all these leaders who don't have any vision for our country home, so that we can stop maybe this complaining and lamenting about our country. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you so much, Alex. That is CIM Murithi Alex, founder and chairperson, Gadi Getundu North, and Ojwang Mariam. Thank you so much, both of you, for making time for us on Biashara Tuesday this morning. I'm ANYANGO Sylvia, and we hope to see you again next week at the same time.